A $1.4 billion advisory firm flew our team out to Portland, Oregon to create content. Not because they couldn't shoot videos themselves and not because they didn't have the equipment, but because they understood one thing that most firms don't. Content that builds trust isn't about production, it's about process. They had the resources and they had the people, but what they didn't have was the clarity. The strategy, scripting, and direction needed to turn expert advisors into confident on-camera communicators. So we spent 3 days on site with their leadership and advisors. We crafted clear, story-driven scripts that speak to their ideal clients. We filmed every piece in a way that felt authentic and not corporate. Then our post-production team turned that raw footage into a library of high-converting short-form videos ready for every platform. Now let me tell you what that really looked like. When we arrived, their team was excited but nervous. Most of their team had never been on camera before. They'd seen plenty of advisors on social media, but didn't think that they could sound confident or natural. So before we ever hit record, we coached each advisor individually. We helped them find their own voice, not a scripted one. And once they realized that they didn't have to perform, they just had to communicate, everything changed. We worked with leadership to make sure that every message aligned with the firm's brand. Educational, trustworthy, and approachable. And we made sure that each video spoke directly to the kind of clients that they wanted more of, not just everyone with a portfolio. Then we created bios for the leadership team. Each one was designed to feel personal, less like a resume and more like a conversation. We asked the questions that revealed the human side of finance. What inspired you to become an advisor? What do you love most about helping clients? And what's one thing that people misunderstand about financial planning? Those answers transformed technical professionals into relatable people, and that's what clients connect with. And we didn't stop there. We gave each employee a fresh headshot and took lifestyle photos for the website that matched the tone of the videos. We staged real environments, walking through the office, chatting with teammates, and reviewing plans with clients. So when someone visits the firm's website or social channels, they don't see stock photos, they see trust in motion. By the time we left, they had over 100 polished videos, including leadership bios, client stories, new headshots, and dozens of photos for the website. Behind the scenes, this wasn't about creating content. It was about creating momentum. Each advisor left the shoot with not just videos, but with confidence. Confidence to communicate online and confidence to connect with prospects through video. That's what we mean when we say content isn't about production, it's about process. Because when your advisors understand how to tell stories on camera, your brand scales effortlessly. But more importantly, they had a repeatable system for content creation that fits their culture and their brand. And that's the key. No cookie cutter templates, no corporate jargon, and no one-size-fits-all scripts. Just a sustainable process that any team member can plug into and make their own. Because they realized the cost of staying invisible online is higher than the cost of doing it right. They knew that today, reputation isn't built in conference rooms. It's built in news feeds. And when your competitors are showing up online with clarity, consistency, and confidence, you can't afford to stay behind the camera. If you want to build trust at scale with content that actually moves the needle, book a call with me.